Thanks for coming, guys. Obviously, today's Veterans Day, and Coach Hayes and Coach Bruce, Coach Cooper, and Jim Tressel have done a phenomenal job. You see there's an interesting board right out there of all the former players and coaches that have served in military, and we have one current young man that's on our team that's a former, that's a veteran. He's Patrick Wise. He's from Warren, Ohio. He served 4 years in the Navy. And so he's walk-on this spring. He's a junior and major in international studies. So we were proud to present him with that little block O that goes up on that wall. So I thought I'll let you know that. I think that's kind of just great news that we have a young man that's living, and he introduced him to the team today, and he said he's living his dream. So it's kind of neat to be able to do that. So I'll answer any questions for you.
Coach, you mentioned earlier in the week that you were going to evaluate the kicker situation. What's the status there? Is there going to be a change?
We're going to start Nurnberger at kicker, and then kickoff, so still be Jack.
How's JT look this week so far in practice?
Good. Yeah, looks sharp.
No rust at all? Just
no,
like nothing
fine.
ever happened?
He's fine.
Thank you.
Austin, front row right. When you see Juan Bell get his hands on a ball like he did last week and then finish in the end zone, do you ever kick around the idea of putting him on the offense?
Not really. I mean, I saw what you saw, and I actually watched. Today was the first day I've had a chance to really watch the whole Minnesota game, and that was a heck of a play. But we have a plethora right now, or not really, but no, that just create a little more nightmares for me right now, so no.
I remember when on signing day when you guys got him, it seemed like that was the crown jewel. It felt like in that class. Is he living up to what you anticipated then, or exceeding it? How would you?
No, I think he's living up to what we thought he would be. You know, he was a guy that I remember was on the treadmill. I was like, it was yesterday, and I said, "Coach, I'm coming," by the way, or something like as I'm watching him walk into the ESPN thing. So yeah, sometimes guys turn out to be what we were told they were, and sometimes they're not. He's probably a little bit more than what we were told he was, and really glad he's a Buckeye. Really good kid too.
Front row right, Bill. Could you update the injury status of the wide receivers, Paris Campbell and?
Paris is a probable.
Johnny Dixon?
Johnny Dixon, no, not yet. It's those knees, and he's got a slight hairline fracture of a kneecap. So it's going to be a little bit. And Dontre's still not sure.
Is James Clark, what's his situation?
He's playing. He's a gunner for us, and he's coming on. He's really starting to pick it up a little bit, so. You know, he's not that solid in the rotation yet, but he's developing. Remember, he had a real slow start with injuries when he first got here. I want to say he had 2 surgeries, like right out of the get-go, a shoulder and broke his leg. That's right, yeah. So he's a little bit behind, but he's coming on.
Second row left, Lori.
Before we get off injuries, Tommy Shutt.
Oh, good to go. He's going to play.
Coach, when you watch film this year, how much different are teams on Saturday than when you watch them on the video? Because it seems like being the defending champ, teams would play harder, save a couple wrinkles for you, but it seems like that was something we heard teams did last year too.
Not really. That's more early in the year when you start seeing things that they've worked on and held it for. You know, we do the same thing, but I do believe that, you know, a lot of times we get a primetime game, and you know how kids are, they like that, and maybe a little more extra juice than the early one or something, but it's normally what you see on video.
So if teams aren't bringing that much extra to a game than what you see on film, would 90% of the challenge of defending a championship be in-house, things that are self-imposed?
Oh, I'm not sure. You know, defending championships isn't a big topic of conversation. It's a lot of times it's survival. And this time of year, when you're dealing with, you're 10 weeks into it. We're just trying to. I think it's good water cooler talk. And boy, they're trying to defend this, and no, we're just trying to get healthy and get ready to go on Saturdays. And every week, you know, just watch college football. How did that team beat that team? How did that team lose to that team? And you know, I think on the outside, there's a lot of conversations. On the inside, man, it's survival. Get to practice, get the rest. You know, I'm glad the kids had a day off of school today to catch up. You know, a lot of these guys on night games, you know, you're so wired up after a game, you're not getting bed till 4 or 5 in the morning. And so today was a good catch-up day. We're playing 11 o'clock in the morning. So that's our biggest concern. There's no conversations about defending this and all that.
Far left, Matt.
Just wondering, JT coming off of the situation he went through last week, do you sense a, I don't know, driven guy? What do you expect? Is he anxious to get back out there? What do you expect to see, I guess, from him?
JT's a unique guy that is an extreme competitor, a very focused guy, and I don't. It's not like, boy, he's working much harder this week than he. You know, he's a professional that's going to work and play quarterback at Ohio State.
What defensively, Illinois, what problems do they pose?
They're big up front. You know, they're much better than they were a year ago. They have a safety that's, I think, 5th in the nation in tackles. They do a really good job of scheming him, so he's a free player all the time. They're going to force us to throw the ball over the top, very similar to our defense, the style of 4-3 quarters press, and that they challenge every throw, and real big. I mean, there's a, I think, 290-pound defensive end now, number 17, and real big 300-pound guys inside.
Far right back, Blake. Is it easier to avoid letdowns in this era because every week is a playoff or somewhat a playoff game? Are you worried about a letdown with the other?
Well, I'm worried about everything. I don't know. I think we have a fairly mature team, so letdown's probably not the appropriate word. Execution and doing the right things and just the grind that's involved in college football right now. I don't think there's a chance of a letdown. I just executing and playing well.
Front row left, Doug.
Urban, I think every time anybody plays at Illinois, people end up talking about the wind there. But whether, no matter where you're going, whether it's potential snow or rain or hot or cold, does that weather forecast play into your weekly game plan, and how does it affect
Not so much the heat, but the wind that you have to be aware of, and a lot of the times in the kicking game, you know, sky kicks, those type of things. And then obviously if it gets in the way of throwing the ball, but we've done our research for this game and it should be fine. But I check that every day leading up to the game, and it certainly does impact the game plan.
And Denzel Ward is a guy that you brought up a couple times on special teams. For any first-year guy who pops on special teams, what is it? What is it that some guys can come in and do that in their first year?
Oh, that's you're exactly right, and then I just gave the history lesson also to our team that every great player we have on our team started off like that. Now he's got to continue to get better, but from Eli to Garyon to Tyvis Powell to Von Bell, those guys all cut their teeth on, and they started surfacing as a great player in the kicking game. And Denzel started that right now, and why is he doing it and some other guys aren't? He just a little more mature, a little more competitive, and a little better. Really fast player, and tougher than I thought. Came in and really, he's helping us. He's an impact guy right now in kicking for us.
And we'll finish up with Tim here in the front.
Yeah, Urban, two quickies. Number one, Damon Webb had a knockdown in the end zone last week, a knockdown pass. How's he come along after that hiatus and stuff? Were you surprised he played as well as he did last week?
Not really. He had a high ankle sprain too, so he's still a little gimped. He's not 100% yet. Those darn things take forever, and it's 6 weeks or 7 weeks. But no, he's a competitive guy. Our coaches love him, and when they gave us that news, that was great to have him back.
And this wasn't my next question, but I wanted to ask this quick. What is your pecking order at cornerback now?
Corner?
Yeah, at cornerbacks.
Oh, the two. I think our third is probably Damon, and then fourth is Denzel. And Lattimore, he's still got that tight hamstring. So he's questionable for this week.
And the other thing, Nurnberger, when you pick him, is that your call? How do you go about deciding this guy is ready? I mean, I guess how did you make that call this week?
Well, obviously when you're struggling at something, you have to evaluate it, and then we have, we made the decision to go with Jack, and he struggled. And so when the guy's struggling, the other guy, we give him chances, and on Sunday and Wednesday we'll kick them. So we had a tryout Sunday and a tryout today, and Sean's going to kick.
And it's purely numbers, or is it how a guy's kicking? I mean, how do you?
Numbers, how many he makes. Does it go through the uprights or not? Well, it's real complicated. It's if it goes through and you see a guy go like that.
But I would think both of them are pretty good. I mean,
I'm just.
So
you guys give me a hard time. I give you one and get all defensive.
But you know what I mean? I mean, do you also judge how they're thumping the ball?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. But the number one thing is to get it through the uprights. Both those kids got strong legs.
Yeah.
And to answer your question, there's a lot of truth to what you said.
I mean, Nuremberg obviously had to keep his, I mean, he lost his starting job. I mean, he was a starter last year on the national championship team. Are you pleased with the way he kind of kept his head in the game?
Yeah, he's kept his head in the game, and he's a good person, and he wants to do well. He works real hard at his skill, and it's good to see. I love when guys keep battling, and he's back in it, back in the saddle, and see what happens.
Coach, thank you.
Thanks.